you may not have heard of, but will be really glad when you have.
That's all right.
Yes, it's that time in the show where we have somebody you may not have heard of, but you will be really glad when you had. And this month, we have our first ever live in the studio guest. Hey! Woohoo! And here we have Miss Juanita Rea. And not from around these parts.
Well, sort of. Kinda. In these parts, from South Africa.
From South Africa, all the way from South Africa to Belfast. Pete, you
Yes.
had some...
So tell us a little bit about yourself for people at home. What is it that you actually do?
I mostly play, in various media. So I write poetry, spoken words, write songs, I create visual art. Used to be a school teacher, and I do a lot of work in the well-being area, so mental health and working with young people and older people. So quite broad and eclectic, and I started off saying I play because I guess it's a playful attitude to all of these things that some of them are not comfortable to navigate in terms of mental health stuff.
Okay. So what kind of things do you play at or play with?
Oh, so in terms of the topics I go into or the media?
Media.
All right. So actually, just in January, I started sharing poetry. I've been writing for a long time, but had been quite nervous about sharing it. So I started joining online open mics. So I think for many, like yourselves, who had to transition from live performance to online performance, some of us, like me, got to try out performing online, and it was great. So I've been doing a bit of that. Have had some of my poetry published as well. Had some of my visual art in virtual exhibitions. So those are the different things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So you... so you've only recently emerged. You are an emerging artist because you buried stuff for years.
Yes.
Why?
So, like I said, some of the topics, especially with mental health and difficulty, aren't that easy to go into. So for myself, it was my creative expression was a way to express what was going on for me, yet I wasn't comfortable sharing it with people because of the topics and the space I was in. So in Belfast, because I'm in that space where I can share it and express it and connect with other artists. So yeah, why now? Well, it feels as necessary as breathing.
Yeah, you couldn't push it down anymore. No.
Well,
tonight... Sorry, Pete, you were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say we're delighted to have you with us tonight at the Gramophone Club, and you're going to perform some poems and a song.
Yes.
Juanita Rea, everybody.
Rebirth. Coffins are meant to hold the dead, where bones and skin turn to dust. Yet I found life there, in coffin, where child had died, and lived. Although I left and went far away, seeking, searching, hoping, I found life there, in the place that I loathed, too ashamed to say, this is me. When coffins are closed, they're not meant to reopen. Who wants to see loved ones decomposing? Yet I found life there when I opened the lid and said, I'm here now. I won't leave you. Although I judged and wished you away, you in coffin, you were always my undoing. Undoing of lies and the shame of existence. You live, we live, I live. So I have another short piece, and before I share it, I just wanted to say that part of the reason why being in Belfast and why sharing the art is that it is in darkness that light is seen. And so that's part of my aim in sharing some of these pieces. Okay. The next one is called Peering Through Pen and Paper. I wrote in rooms where I couldn't scream out loud, where horror movies played on repeat. I wrote in rooms where the TV was turned up to drown out all the shouting. I wrote in rooms where my breathing tightened up whenever I heard doors banging. I wrote in rooms where I struggled to eat, my stomach always cramping. I wrote in rooms where I wished I was a happier, more normal person. I wrote in rooms where I felt I was wrong, unable to put on the required pretense. I wrote in rooms that I tried to escape from, yet each time I had to return. I wrote in rooms where I loathed myself for feeling everything I didn't want to feel. I wrote in rooms where everything hurt, and I tried to make it stop. I wrote in rooms where we were supposedly safe. Family keeps you safe, don't they? I wrote in rooms where we didn't talk about the crimes that were being committed. I wrote in rooms where I wrapped shame round my body, despised disease, just hated. I wrote in rooms where I felt myself dying, not knowing that writing was helping me breathe. I wrote in rooms so I could let myself out. I wrote so that I could live. Thank you. She can dive into dark oceans and fall weightless through the sky. She's been tossed in raging rivers 'cause she wants to be fearless, fearless. Yet it's been hard for her to go back and face shadows from her past, 'cause they cast into her arms and legs. Still, she wants to be fearless, fearless. I've seen her run, I've seen her falter, I've seen her float into the mist. She stands here now, bleeding and broken, just aching to be kissed. These are my arms, my legs, my body that I can hold with love, with care. I bleed, I break, my softness heals me. I know I'm not fearless, fearless. This is my ache, this is my longing, to touch, to hold, to kiss, to dance, feeling, falling, tingling, trembling, terrified and fearless, fearless. I will not run, though I will falter. At times I float into the mist. I stand here now, bleeding and broken, just aching to be kissed. I am ripped up and I am open to truth and trust, to hope and love. Standing, falling, bleeding, breaking, just aching to be kissed. Standing, falling, bleeding, breaking, just aching to be kissed.
Juanita Rea, thank you.
Excellent.